Welcome to Skill Savvy DIY. My name is Russ Jones and this is the very first episode for this channel. So according to the NEC, the National Electric Code, there has to be a disconnect within sight of the equipment that it's servicing. So this one does not have a disconnect. I don't think it's ever had a disconnect. Matter of fact, I don't think this house had air conditioner when it was built in the mid-60s. I think it was added later, and I can tell that by the way it was wired and the shoddy work that they did cutting a hole in the soffit. And no disconnect. It's not the way things are done today, and it's definitely not the way things were done then either. So I'm going to take care of something that should have been done years ago. I have to go out of this gate, walk all the way up the house, around the front of the house, and go to the east side of the house where the service panel is housing the 30 amp breaker that supplies this unit. So here is my condensing unit. I'm actually using this as a work table today. Here's the old conduit coming out. And I don't know if you can see this right here, but that conduit is rusted through right here. And from there, it goes straight into this gray PVC, which is intended to help protect against UV rays. But as you can see, that clamp's not holding up, so I will be replacing them. The conduit itself looks to be in good shape. Now, I have no idea at what point in time this was actually installed, but instead of coming through the block wall, they dropped it on the outside. And as you can see at the top, they're missing a little bit from going all the way up. So I'm going to remedy that. I want to bring that conduit up into the soffit. And there we go. So I want to check the voltage coming straight into the unit. We have no voltage there. Also want to check going to ground. All right, our voltage is dead. Always double check. So I want to start at the whip. We're going to go ahead and disconnect this whip from the contactor. And we got to get this ground wire as well. So anytime you disconnect the power out of a breaker, make sure you tag it out with something to let family members or anyone know that you are working on that. So I removed the old conduit, and I'm here to tell you it's in really bad shape. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this pipe right about here. We will have to cut again, but there's no way I'm gonna get all this off. I've just gotta cut it. So I don't know if this is going to cut right through these wires. There's only one way to find out. And it did. Okay, not very good on the tool, but it did work. So I want to do at this point is take this conduit, and as you can see, the tops already came off. We're just going to take and slide this out of the conduit for right now. All right, Houston, we have a problem. This 10-2 cable here is not rated for outdoor use. This is strictly for indoor use. You might be familiar with the term Romex. That is a certain brand of this same cable. Now this has some age on it, but it's still in really good shape. It has been protected somewhat in that conduit, but that doesn't make it legal. It's still considered a wet space, even though it's in conduit. Now I can't do it today, but at some point I'm going to have to go up into the attic, add a junction box to where I can terminate that Romex at the junction box and then drop out a 10-2 UFB cable, which is rated for outdoor, and bring it from here down into the box. that's a job for another day. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these old brackets off of here just with a screwdriver. That one and this one up here. I've got a 6-foot whip here. This has got 10 gauge wire, which is 30 amp. Bring it in through our holes here. Pop that in. Go ahead and place this washer here. It came with some new washers. I'm just gonna reuse this old one. Go ahead and start with the ground. Okay, that feels good. Now let's do our hot wires, and it really doesn't matter which side which goes on. This is 120 volts, this is 120 volts. Same thing, just tighten this down really tight. You don't want to leave nothing loose. All right, we are in. All right, so I want to go ahead and get this adapter in place on this one. As you push this in, you want to turn that until you can't turn it no more. It kind of rides up. It's got threads inside of this, and it kind of cuts its way into this conduit, just like that. Can't pull it off. Tap this with a big screwdriver. Take my lineman pliers, reach in here and break that one out, just like that. So I don't want to tighten it in the box just yet. I want to just get it in the box. I want to be able to turn it, twist it if I need to. I'll tighten this after it's mounted. We're just going to leave it like that for now. So what that's going to allow me to do is pull it over here to see about where it's going to go. Okay, now let's see where I need to cut this. Looks like I'm going to be right about here with my conduit, and I can always go up or down a little up in the attic above the soffit. Let's bend our cable up to hold that there. All right, I'm showing pretty level right there. I want to go ahead and run a tap con in that to get it situated. All right, that looks good. All right, we are good and sturdy, a lot better than what it was. I went ahead and removed this from the box to where I could get this on here easily without having to juggle with that box. So I want to take some PVC glue and go ahead and glue inside the fitting itself, and then we're just going to push it up on here. Then from there, we'll be able to get it into the box. All right, we'll let that set for a minute. Let's go ahead and get this back in our box. Now I would have preferred to have a long radius 90, but this is all I could find at Home Depot. I don't want to tighten this down just yet. I just want to get it started. So let's see if we can get this leveled up. That looks good right there. Go ahead and mark our holes. Actually, I want to go ahead and drill that hole out and get one tap con in this to where to help hold this box. That should be plenty. All right, I had to get an extension. All right, we are in. Now we just need to level this up. Perfectly level there. We'll mark this hole. I got one in the very top. All right, we are plenty in. I want to get this one started, but I want to hold it level while I'm running it in. So I want to re-tighten these backing nuts on this piece here and the whip that's coming through the bottom. That's good and tight right there. Now what I want to do is go ahead and get rid of this outer sheathing right here. Take a razor knife, just gently etch that. Don't cut through to the other conductors. Just like that. Try to pull it apart. Just like that. Get rid of the paper. It's on the ground. Just like so. All right, we're ready to wire it up. Make sure everything's good and snug. Push these back out of the way. Now we want to repeat the same thing with these wires here. This will be your ground wire going to the other side here. And then your black and your red will go to the outer part. So that's your load side. I went ahead and removed this cover so you could really see better in here. And I want to take a brush, now that I've got all this wired up, just get any of that out of there from drilling the holes. All right, so here is the finished product. Everything's wired up, and I've only seen one problem with this. I'm gonna remove this wire here. Just so I can re-identify this with red tape. And the only reason I'm doing this is to prevent any confusion from any technician that might happen to service this in the future. The white wire is normally associated with 120 volt circuits, and the white always means neutral. So wires are colorblind. They don't know if they're white, they don't know if they're black, red, anything. So I want to re-identify that for a technician. He's the one that might assume this is 120 volt, not a 240 volt, and that this is a neutral wire. But now that we've got this re-identified with red tape, that is in fact 120 volt hot wire, as well as this one. Not only that, it's also matching what we got going to the unit. Red here, black here, red here, black here. So I want to give one final twist on all these lugs. just to make sure we got everything good and secure. Let's pop our cover back on. That just stabs in like so. So let's go in the on position. Get that extra little push there. And back on with our cover. All right, to prevent any water from coming down through here, I'm gonna go ahead and add some white silicone. I wish I had clear, but I've got white. I'm gonna bring it across the top and down the sides. This box is not considered weatherproof. Now, it is somewhat protecting everything because of this cover here, but you have these knockouts on the side, you have some on the back. They're down low. I'm not concerned about that. Water might infiltrate at some point, but it's just going to be low and it's going to run out. But there's also some factory holes a little higher up, and mainly where I put this tap con in here, I don't want any water intrusion trying to come into that box where this terminal block is across here. So I'm going to go ahead and seal this, and seal this. I'm going to leave the bottom open to where if any water does get in behind here, it'll have a place to run out. So this is it for today. Soon I will have to drop some 10-2 UFB cable to replace this Romax that's in here currently, and that will be up to code for sure. And we have success. All right, guys, that is it. This job is complete. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got something from it. Now, if you do not have electrical experience, if you're not an electrician, or if you don't feel safe around it, by all means, get a real electrician, contractor, whoever to do this, or Cousin Eddie, whoever you know that is a certified electrician. And I have been a licensed electrician in the city that I was born in, and I have been doing this kind of work for many years. I'm comfortable around it. It's all in knowing what you know. You know, you got to understand electricity and everything about it to ever attempt to do anything like this. So with that said, these videos are primarily for entertainment, but for anyone that can get some benefit from it is for you also. So until the next video, I'm Russ Jones with Skill Savvy DIY.